Money, money, and more money. Most people want money and want more of it. There are many paths one may take in life to accomplish financial and personal goals. Without a doubt, entrepreneurship provides a way of breaking through existing financial ceilings by working for someone else, in nearly any job. The possibilities of financial growth in having one's own business far exceed being an employee in someone else's business. Nonetheless, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. There are risks, long hours with an obligatory total commitment to one's vision. Entrepreneurship beings with an idea about providing something of value to one's community and the society at large, within a capitalistic system. The ability to create and extract value is at the core of starting one's business. There are undoubted risks given the uncertainty of success, and in certain endeavors, the risks may be beyond what is normally encountered in starting a business. Nonetheless, to be an entrepreneur, the potential to design, launch, and successfully run any new business needs development. There are many facets to such development, such as expertise and willingness to start a business venture along with accepting certain risks, to eventually make a profit. The ability to visualize a new approach in delivering an existing product or creating a new product/service not currently in existence can develop within those who are interested in business opportunities. Additionally, developing one's passion for a product/service requires education, a willingness to learn further, and taking accurate steps in the direction of success. There is no doubt that working as an employee can also have many benefits, such as more security, stability of income, and a sense of being done with the job when one is off. Entrepreneurship, especially in the initial stages, has many uncertainties that must be faced head-on with courage, hard work, and a relentless appetite for continuing to move forward despite initial startup challenges. Entrepreneurs are people who create businesses and thus, take society forward. It is also a fact that a significant percentage of startup businesses must shut down due to many factors such as poor business decisions, lack of suitable business planning, lacking awareness of government policies, economic instabilities, fluctuations in market demand, etc. Growth of inner strength to navigate through these difficulties with adequate foreplanning allows one to translate inventions, technologies, and new approaches into viable products and services. Identifying business opportunities, pinpointing the necessary resources to exploit opportunities, and matching them with one's educational and work background allows one to objectively consider the possibility of becoming an entrepreneur. Although many people dream of being entrepreneurs, the actualization of such dreams begins with a clear study of current market trends where economic resources can be shifted from one area to another. Such shifting into a new area of greater quality, productivity, yield, and consumer satisfaction needs to be maintained within the mind of any prospective entrepreneur. Identifying opportunities, recognizing the need within society, and a creative vision to recombine resources for profit generation are all part of taking adequate time before starting any business endeavor. The ability to recognize an opportunity itself is a necessary first step. This requires an open mind, good guidance from others who have traveled such a path, and patience. Without patience and careful study, those who are emotionally driven to make a quick profit could wind up losing quite a bit of time, money, and energy. Such loss is disheartening, emotionally draining, and can be financially destructive. Hence, best planning, research, study, patience, and a process-oriented mindset create a protective shield against unnecessary risk. Offering a product/service to society, differently or innovatively, is central to any business endeavor. Many people focus on the end goal such as wealth accumulation, name, fame, etc., but it is all about serving society distinctively and creatively. Once creative qualities are awakened, new possibilities dawn within the entrepreneurial mind where society's needs and wants are kept at the forefront. It is possible to provide an existing product/service with greater efficiency and enhanced appeal. There is also the possibility of creating new products/services and generate consumer demand. Such innovation tends to be rare and has great potential in affecting large numbers of people while taking one's business to greater heights. The capacity and willingness to develop and participate in a new business ventures to make a profit allows the introduction of new products/services into the market. Such a vision contributes to the socio-economic development of societies in diverse ways. Seeking satisfaction of consumer needs/wants/desires are central to entrepreneurial ventures. This requires persistent market investigation that provides insights into existing consumer needs. Entrepreneurship helps bridge the unemployment gap through formal and informal business endeavors that can hire large numbers of people in developing and advanced nations. Through payment of taxes, businesses contribute to government proceeds that consequently accelerate the overall development and protection of any nation with regards to contribution and development of economic growth. Entrepreneurial projects open up infrastructural development in their neighborhoods. Starting up businesses often leads to the growth of transportation and communication networks, driven by the need for infrastructure created by companies. Enterprises can improve localities, enabling thriving businesses to take root, while taking advantage of good transport and communication outlets. Entrepreneurs participate in and contribute to the creation of infrastructure for education, healthcare, business training and mentorship, and other social prerequisites necessary for any society's development through their participation in corporate social responsibility. For nearly 200 years, entrepreneurial prowess fueled significant economic progress. There have been substantial innovation cycles sparked by innovative products/services, demonstrating the resilience of the capitalist system in the face of market changes. Capitalism's resilience is symptomatic of capitalism resonating with and developing from human nature. Any economy's ability to recover from crashes and re-establish itself is a tribute to the critical nature of novel methods of supplying goods and services regardless of economic conditions. Numerous watershed moments in human history have occurred as a result of entrepreneurial-inspired invention. Once ignited, this spirit can remain constant and increase steadily. Innovation motivated by imagination is a fundamental principle of an entrepreneurial mindset motivated by the desire to give life-sustaining and economic growth for humanity to continue growing. Standards of living have increased as a result of entrepreneurship and the generation of wealth for associated firms. Innovation that results in new and improved services/products enables the creation of new markets. This type of market creation advances human civilization and aids in multi-generational economic development and expansion. Innovative goods/products/services have the potential to create a cascading effect, stimulating adjacent businesses that are required to sustain the new endeavor. This results in more economic growth and facilitates the movement and accumulation of money. Please note that the author provides a value-oriented overview and a good starting point for anyone contemplating the start of a new business endeavor. Ideas presented are also useful for established businesses, as they continue towards greater sustainability or greater expansion. There are important qualities discussed along with best mindsets and the ability to deal with uncertainties. Additionally, a realistic viewpoint along with the importance of zeal, giving it one's all, courage, and staunch determination are emphasized. There are interconnected attributes, qualities, and ideas that can encourage along with a practical guide to cultivating an entrepreneurial vision. What leads a person to strike out on his own and start a business? Conceivably, a person has been laid off once or more. Sometimes a person is frustrated with his or her current job and doesn't see any better career prospects on the horizon. Sometimes a person realizes that his or her job is in jeopardy. A firm may be contemplating cutbacks that could end a job or limit career or salary prospects. Perhaps a person already has been passed over for promotion or sees no opportunities in existing businesses for someone with his or her interests and skills. Some people are repulsed by the idea of working for someone else. They object to a system where a reward is often based on seniority rather than accomplishment, or where they have to conform to corporate culture. Other people decide to become entrepreneurs because they are disillusioned by the bureaucracy or politics involved in getting ahead in an established business or profession. Some are tired of trying to promote a product, service, or way of doing business that is outside the mainstream operations of a large company. In contrast, some people are attracted to entrepreneurship by the advantages of starting a business. Entrepreneurs are their employers and make their own decisions, which is one of the primary benefits of entrepreneurship. They select their business partners and the work that these partners will perform. Hours of work, pay rates for employees, employee benefits such as vacations, and other such decisions are decided. Entrepreneurship provides a better chance of attaining big financial rewards than employment in another business. Additionally, it enables participation in all aspects of the firm, from conception to strategy/design, formation/construction, sales, corporate procedures, and consumer response. Entrepreneurship entails the privilege of being in command. It provides an opportunity for an individual to accumulate equity, which can be retained, marketed, and handed on to the next generation for continued development and advancement. Additionally, entrepreneurship provides an opportunity for an individual to make significant contributions. The majority of new enterprises contribute to the development of the local economy. A few individuals contribute to society through their innovations. One such example is entrepreneur Steve Jobs, who co-founded Apple in 1976 and spearheaded the subsequent desktop computer revolution. Certain individuals assess the occupational and professional opportunities in their area and make a determined decision to pursue private enterprise. A person's decision to embark on a venture should not be taken lightly. Entrepreneurship takes considerable courage, decision-making abilities, tenacity, invention, and adaptability. When considering entrepreneurship as a career route, it is essential to conduct some self-reflections to determine how, why, and when entrepreneurship may be the best career option for you. Conducting study, research, and trying out activities and positions linked to your intended endeavor is a critical step toward determining your path to entrepreneurship. Researching the prospective industries or entrepreneurial opportunities that are available to you will provide some measure of comfort and justify your decision on what to do next. One practical approach to accomplish this is to shadow an expert in your preferred field. This entails arranging to be an observer during a typical workday to gain first-hand knowledge of what goes into running that type of business. Additionally, you may be able to get experience by working as an apprentice, intern, or independent contractor. Entrepreneurship is the path to unrestricted financial and personal progress. There are no restrictions. You are the actual ruler of your destiny, limited only by your vision. In order to take advantage of an opportunity that has not yet been discovered, an entrepreneurial effort requires the formation of a new company or organization, as well as the acceptance of a certain amount of risk. Idealistically, the concepts described in this section would apply to any and all entrepreneurial endeavors, regardless of the industry. Businesses, for example, have been able to stay afloat despite enormous obstacles because they were determined to persevere. When faced with a setback, entrepreneurs look for solutions rather than dwelling on the bad aspects of the situation. External conditions should not interfere with an entrepreneur's attempts to achieve his or her goals and objectives. Many entrepreneurs will almost certainly need assistance to manage their job, if they have one, family responsibilities, and the day-to-day operations of their business. To remain focused and see their ideas through to completion, entrepreneurs create a daily regimen to assist them to stay organized. As a small company owner, you are ultimately responsible for everything that happens throughout the course of business operations. Entrepreneurs benefit from being able to think more quickly and clearly since it allows them to avoid spending time on ineffective ideas or activities. Self-reliance refers to a person's capacity to deal with issues on their own without assistance. Entrepreneurs are very uncommon since they are not afraid to take chances and come up with answers on their own. A person who has worked for a company for a long period of time may decide to move into self-employment in order to have more freedom. Business success depends on an entrepreneur's capacity to adjust to changing circumstances. Many are unable or unwilling to carry out the responsibilities of a standard 9-to-5 job. Such people want to keep working at all hours of the day or night, even on weekends, because they're always on the hunt for fresh ideas. As a consequence of their insatiable curiosity, many successful businessmen and women have earned bachelor's degrees and advanced degrees in the fields in which they have a particular passion. As a result, they will have a better grasp of their target demographic. The vast majority of those who want to progress in entrepreneurship have come to the conclusion that further investigation is required before their ideas can be put in place. Any commercial endeavor necessitates the ability to think outside the box and improvise in any business sector. The capacity to see flaws in situations and making recommendations on how to fix them also necessitates development. If you choose to start your own business, what role do you anticipate yourself playing? Entrepreneurs come in a wide variety of forms and sizes, as well as different ages and educational levels, to name a few physical features. To be considered successful in the short term, you must first pass through numerous phases before you can be considered successful in the long run. At each level, each individual must develop distinctive leadership, communication, and entrepreneurial abilities. As the employment market fluctuates throughout the year, individuals with diverse backgrounds and interests are attracted to a variety of firms and industries. In business, there are creators, builders, and operators. The creator or architect of a business is completely dedicated to a certain product or concept and possesses a bright/creative mind that is always generating new and original ideas. Creators frequently generate business thoughts for a diverse variety of businesses. Entrepreneurship is a journey that will have many highs and lows. One should be prepared to handle each one of them with a calm and clear mind. If you are ready to launch a venture, you will find numerous situational opportunities to pursue your interests. A situational opportunity becomes available, depending on factors such as where you work, your family obligations, your idea or invention, your unique creative expression, or a recent career search or job change. The evolution of entrepreneurship, your receptiveness to entrepreneurial thinking, and many existing and emerging platforms make this possible. As you plan your venture, you should consider opportunities in these areas. On the job. Some workplaces offer entrepreneurial opportunities, or ventures created within the company, for entrepreneurial-minded individuals. The firm 3M, for example, has historically nurtured employee creativity and promoted innovative opportunities for employees. This environment inspired an employee project that resulted in the invention of Post-it notes. Even if a company does not support venture creation, there is also the possibility of taking the entrepreneurial idea out of the company to create your venture. Family obligations. You might work in a family-owned business or take over after family members retire or transfer ownership to other family members. Franchises. You might purchase an existing franchise, a license granted to an entrepreneur to operate under the franchise's name. Web-based venture. You might launch a product venture through Etsy, Shopify, or another e-commerce website. Work for hire, or independent contractor. You might launch a consulting business or work as an independent contractor to gain clients, experience, and income on a flexible schedule. Unemployment. Being underemployed or unemployed might make entrepreneurship a pathway to economic freedom. Purchase. You might purchase an existing business from a retiree, your current company, or a family that owns a business. As a business owner's life situations change, due to aging or new interests, the business becomes available for new ownership. Working for a company can offer the option of buying out the current owner to become the new owner. Purchasing an existing company provides historical financial data and decisions that support future successes. If you are employed by the company, you have the opportunity of learning details about how the business is managed, an advantage that could support your success in purchasing and managing the company. Identifying the next big company opportunity is one of the most difficult elements of entrepreneurship. There will always be another opportunity, but it is your responsibility to distinguish the good from the bad and make solid business decisions that will benefit you or your company in the long run. Creating high-quality content positions your business as a leader in its field. Producing exceptional content is the most effective approach to generate new sales, and so every business owner should use this opportunity to get a competitive edge. By carefully putting your company and brand at the center of dialogues and developing a brand culture, you may successfully separate yourself from rivals by interacting with customers on issues that matter to them. If you are presently employed, it may be useful to investigate business opportunities that need minimal time or effort. Numerous part-time occupations are possible to perform from home or even online. Certain businesses are designed to generate passive revenue, which means they do not require a lot of time or effort to maintain. Other business opportunities might be expanded, allowing people to transition from their existing jobs to entrepreneurship. Coincidences can only bring you opportunities, but a keen eye to recognize and act on them will allow you to cash in on those opportunities. There are many frameworks to assist with the designing and integration of one's business experiences and entrepreneurial thinking process. There are two basic ideas in the construction of a framework: cost structure and revenue streams. Cost structure, identification of key partners, main activities, and relevant resources are all part of creating a framework. Additionally, determining the type of relationship to have with customers, the various channels of revenue stream as related to customer segments is all part of framework development. As part of one's framework, customer feedback is needed for product improvement and further development as per the market trends. Necessary background research promotes a clearer understanding of market trends where cost structure and revenue streams can be developed based on such research. In order to address and solve problems and a variety of viable solutions, a methodical and logical approach is required. Design thinking is a term that refers to a collection of cognitive, strategic, and practical procedures that are used to generate product creation ideas. The value creation development consists of three key elements: shaping what value the company can provide to its customers, the value customer receives, determining the value the organization receives from its patrons, the value organization receives, and maximizing the lifetime value of desirable customer sectors by successfully managing this value exchange. The entrepreneurial process may be broken down into 5 phases: concept creation, opportunity appraisal, planning, business formation/launch, and growth. The 4-step framework identifies 4 essential activities to consider while refining current goods. These are the words to remember: increase, decrease, remove, and generate. To graph the available consumer items in a market against a company's capacity to deliver value and hence remain competitive over time. One method is to pursue distinctiveness and low cost at the same time in order to create new demand and open up new market space. It's all about securing uncontested market space and rendering the competitors obsolete. The 4-step framework identifies 4 essential activities to consider while refining current goods. These are the words to remember: increase, decrease, remove, and generate. To graph the available consumer items in a market against a company's capacity to deliver value and hence remain competitive over time. Creating a framework requires one to first study the target market area and to understand its business potential. Competition is natural in the business world and also healthy. One's framework needs to be built in relation to the type of competition that one will face. Framework development begins with an exploratory mindset that eventually leads to setting a clear path ahead. Today, many industries do not exist, the untapped market area, free of rivalry. Demand creation is one strategic technique. There is plenty of room for both lucrative and quick expansion. Competition is meaningless in such a strategy since the game's rules are yet to be established. The unexplored market sector holds a larger, more profound potential. In terms of lucrative expansion, there is vastness, depth, and strength. Understanding the factors that impact the development and sustenance of a business, from various perspectives, directly impacts one's decisions with regards to implementation and selection of the best strategy. At some point during your venture development process, it becomes critical to capture your thoughts and intentions in a meaningful and productive way. Creating a customized action plan, an organized, step-by-step outline or guide that pulls together the ideas, thoughts, and key steps necessary to help set the stage for entrepreneurial success, at an early stage will make the entrepreneurial process much smoother and potentially more successful in the long run. It's important to have a business action plan to assist you to get started. It's an internal business document that specifies the steps you must perform within a particular time frame to reach a goal while running your firm. Create an action plan to help you achieve your goal by following these 5 steps. Set SMART goals. Create a list of actions. Set a timeline. Designate resources. Monitor the progress. In what ways can having a plan of action help you? To achieve your objectives, you need to have a strategy that will keep you motivated and ensure that you reach your destination in a fair period of time. When used as a communication tool, action plans may simplify complicated programs and initiatives. Examples of action plans include initiatives to develop a community with additional green space. Plans fortify an individual's foundation, allowing them to grow and achieve their goals. With a defined timeline for each stage of the process, a good action plan will help you achieve your goal by defining all of the needed tasks to attain your goal. Depending on your needs and preferences, you may use this template to define a single or many objectives. Keeping the end result in mind allows one to think, plan, and act with strategy. Business success is based on well-formed strategies and the development of a process-oriented mindset. For some people, the entrepreneurial perspective is clear-cut and logical. For example, a career in a biomedical lab may involve research and clinical trials that lead to patent applications for a product to sell in the marketplace, leading to a new venture. Others experience the entrepreneurial pathway through non-traditional methods, as when an unexpected opportunity arises. As the global marketplace continues to evolve, new entrepreneurial opportunities will open for individuals who are open to opportunities that build on creativity and innovation. There are 4 primary kinds of entrepreneurship: startups, medium-sized businesses, and non-profit organizations. In other words, these models are all about getting a firm up and running, rather than focusing on the many skills of the entrepreneur. Companies must evolve with the times, as the world around them changes. Entrepreneurs may now take more risks and introduce new and exciting innovations, which is a big win for them. Any type of small business that has been founded by a single individual, without the goal of growing or franchising, is called small business entrepreneurship. When most people decide to go into business for themselves, they often open many locations. Numerous examples exist, including nail salons, general stores, taco trucks, and so on. You'll probably have to recruit local workers or perhaps family members to get your company off the ground, and you'll have to put your resources into the business. Companies that focus on scalable startups have business models that can be duplicated and grown, stemming from the belief that doing so will make the world a better place, more sales with more resources. In order to quickly and profitably expand, this sort of firm sets out from the outset to focus on fast growth and large profits. To begin with, entrepreneurs with assistance from investors take their ideas from the garage to the most populous continent on Earth. While there are several examples of trailblazing businesses that have had a significant impact on the globe, such as Amazon, Google, and Apple, they all, nevertheless, have their own differences. This type of entrepreneurship is not for the majority of people, therefore very few individuals will take advantage of it. In general, the buyer has a big net worth and already enjoys wealth. They only purchase a firm if they feel it will prosper. Once they've bought the company, they make a few adjustments and let it run normally. To fund a buying entrepreneur investing investment, a buyer has to be either successful or have affluent investors on his or her side. Many individuals start their own business as a secondary source of income, such as the solopreneur. For even if they aren't planning on leaving their day work, they will still benefit from some additional side money. It may be that their love is for art or another craft, and they want to share it. A solo-operated small business or sole proprietorship is a one-man or one-woman show. Since they don't have the time to think about scaling up their operations, no one works for them. A builder's priority is to boost a company's growth and profitability. Founders who keep creating and selling companies tend to be the most prevalent. Having a talent for attracting high-caliber employees, investors, and consumers to projects is a common skill among builders. Many entrepreneurs are said to as mimics, and they take unique business concepts and develop them. They want to acquire an advantage in the market by always finding new ways to make their product better. It's a combination of risk takers and rule breakers who have a lot of self-belief. The end goal for all entrepreneurs is always the same. The paths may differ, but the dream for all of them is the same. True financial independence is the dream. A stakeholder has a vested interest in a company and can either affect or be affected by a business operations and performance. Typical stakeholders are investors, employees, customers, suppliers, communities, governments, or trade associations. The vast majority of individuals believe that businesses exist solely to deliver services to their clients. Since the quality of the service/products and the value of such things and services influence them, customers are considered stakeholders in a firm. Customers entrust their life to an airline, for example, by flying with them. In a corporation, both shareholders and debt holders are recognized as investors in the enterprise. When shareholders make an investment in a company, they do so with the expectation of obtaining a specific return on their money. With regard to investing, the idea of shareholder value is usually a source of anxiety. Various types of capital sources, such as lenders and possible acquirers, are grouped under the category of other capital providers. By definition, all shareholders are stakeholders, but stakeholders are not shareholders, and shareholders are not stakeholders, as well as the other way around. The following are key stakeholders: creditor institutions, board members or directors of corporations, employees, the government and its agencies, owners of corporations, shareholders, suppliers, labor unions, and the community from which the corporation derives its resources. Information may be used to determine project constraints and dangers by taking into consideration the requirements and restrictions of key stakeholders based on information from their respective industries. By engaging and including stakeholders throughout your project, you increase your chances of being able to alleviate and recognize hazards as they emerge. When it comes to stakeholders, users are always the most essential ones to consider. After all, what good is a firm if it does not have any customers or consumers to whom it may offer its goods and services? Primarily, the key stakeholders of a corporation are those individuals or organizations who have frequent and direct economic interactions with the organization. A few examples of significant stakeholders are employees, customers, and suppliers, to name a few examples. A company's secondary stakeholders are persons or entities who are not directly involved in the company's economic activities and do not participate in its decision-making processes. When it comes to properly managing stakeholder expectations, there are 4 essential considerations to take into account. Ensure that you have a clear idea of what defines project success before you begin working on a project. Make sure that stakeholders do not have to wait an excessive length of time before reaping the advantages of the investment. In order to achieve project success, it is necessary to carry out the plan in line with the objectives. When dealing with project stakeholders, keep things as simple as possible to avoid confusion. Employees are the most important internal stakeholders in a company's operations since they provide the most input. In addition to making major financial and time commitments to the organization, employees also play a critical part in the creation of the organization's overall strategy as well as its tactical and operational plans. Stakeholders have access to a plethora of information, which includes current practices, historical data, and industry expertise. It has frequently been the case that this group of individuals has spent more time at the firm or on the project than the project manager or the other members of the team. The long-term success of a firm depends on the management of relationships with all stakeholders. A comprehensive view of business and entrepreneurial ethics requires an understanding of the difference between shareholders, a small group who are the owners, or stockholders, and stakeholders, a large group that includes all those people and organizations with a vested interest in the business. Serving the needs of the shareholders is based on a limited view of organizational purpose. The following is a statement on the purpose of a corporation from Business Roundtable. Americans deserve an economy that allows each person to succeed through hard work and creativity and to lead a life of meaning and dignity. We believe the free market system is the best means of generating good jobs, a strong and sustainable economy, innovation, a healthy environment, and economic opportunity for all. Businesses play a vital role in the economy by creating jobs, fostering innovation, and providing essential goods and services. Businesses make and sell consumer products, manufacture equipment and vehicles, support the national defense, grow and produce food, provide health care, generate and deliver energy, and offer financial, communications, and other services that underpin economic growth. While each of our individual companies serves its own corporate purpose, we share a fundamental commitment to all of our stakeholders. We commit to delivering value to our customers. We will further the tradition of American companies leading the way in meeting or exceeding customer expectations. Investing in our employees. This starts with compensating them fairly and providing important benefits. It also includes supporting them through training and education that help develop new skills for a rapidly changing world. We foster diversity and inclusion, dignity, and respect. Dealing fairly and ethically with our suppliers. We are dedicated to serving as good partners to the other companies, large and small, that help us meet our missions. Supporting the communities in which we work. We respect the people in our communities and protect the environment by embracing sustainable practices across our businesses. Generating long-term value for shareholders, who provide the capital that allows companies to invest, grow and innovate. We are committed to transparency and effective engagement with shareholders. Each of our stakeholders is essential. We commit to deliver value to all of them, for the future success of our companies, our communities, and our country. When you consider the behavior you demand of yourself in both your professional and personal lives, you're having a philosophical conversation with yourself about the norms of behavior you want to uphold, your ethics. You could decide that you should always speak the truth to your family, friends, customers, clients, and stakeholders, and that if you can't, you should have very excellent reasons why. You also have the option of never defrauding or misleading your business partners. You could also decide that while you want to make a profit in your business, you don't need all of the money that comes in. Instead, there may be enough earnings to give a portion of them to other stakeholders besides yourself, such as those who are significant because they have assisted you or are touched in some way by your firm. It is via business ethics that entrepreneurs and their firms follow the law and respect their stakeholders, including their customers, clients, and workers, as well as the surrounding community. The owner/founder must have the best and productive relationship with each stakeholder. No enterprise can be successful unless the stockholders and stakeholders are on the same page. Ethical actions are the foundation of truly successful entrepreneurship. Trying to cut corners only damages one's business, reputation, and future prospects. The term corporate social responsibility, CSR, refers to practices and policies undertaken by corporations that are intended to have a positive influence on the world. The key idea behind CSR is for corporations to pursue other pro-social objectives, in addition to maximizing profits. Examples of common CSR objectives include minimizing environmental externalities, promoting volunteerism among company employees, and donating to charity. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is a highly advanced management concept that places a priority on long-term goals and profitability. It is becoming increasingly popular. Through the identification and implementation of programs that go above and beyond legal and ethical standards, corporate social responsibility, CSR, seeks to harmonize relationships with stakeholders. Corporate social responsibility is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and interactions with their stakeholders. 11 There is a delicate balance between social, environmental, and financial aspects that cross-connect for overall benefit. Determining the best approach requires careful study, patience, and a desire to develop responsibility with the best possible implementation. Key CSR facets: environmental management, eco-efficiency, responsible sourcing, stakeholder engagement, labor standards and working conditions, employee and community relations, social equity, gender balance, human rights, good governance, and anti-corruption measures. 12 Each CRS issue must be considered in connection with one's specific business and applied in the best possible way. An entrepreneur does not succeed in isolation. Success is only possible with the best relations are developed with each aspect of CRS. Improvements in access to capital and markets, increases in sales and profits, cost savings from operations, increased productivity, improved quality of service, a more efficient human resource base, improved brand image and reputation, increased customer loyalty, improvements in decision-making processes, and improvements in risk management processes are all possible benefits of a properly implemented CSR concept. Corporate social responsibility is traditionally broken into 4 categories: environmental, philanthropic, ethical, and economic responsibility. Environmental responsibility refers to the belief that organizations should behave as environmentally friendly as possible. It's one of the most common forms of corporate social responsibility. Some companies use the term environmental stewardship to refer to such initiatives. Companies that seek to embrace environmental responsibility can do so in several ways: reducing pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, the use of single-use plastics, water consumption, and general waste. Ethical responsibility is concerned with ensuring an organization is operating fairly and ethically. Organizations that embrace ethical responsibility aim to achieve fair treatment of all stakeholders, including leadership, investors, employees, suppliers, and customers. Philanthropic responsibility refers to a business's aim to actively make the world and society a better place. Economic responsibility is the practice of a firm backing all of its financial decisions and its commitment to do good in the areas listed above. The end goal is not to simply maximize profits, but positively impact the environment, people, and society. Corporate social responsibility initiatives, by their nature, force business leaders to examine practices related to how they hire and manage employees, source products or components, and deliver value to customers. Social entrepreneurship describes ventures launched by entrepreneurs who are first and foremost advocates or champions for a social cause. However, they are able to leverage the cause as a platform to develop and maintain an economically viable organization. These individuals are primarily driven and motivated by a higher vision or grander purpose. This new breed of entrepreneur leverages the power of their position, their standing in the community, and the potential synergy and wealth creation power of an enterprise as a vehicle or platform to advance their social goals and personal agenda. These social causes often include a solution for a costly and chronic social problem or pain, a social wrong or injustice that must be corrected, or a global issue that has been either overlooked or marginalized by society or organizations. There are entrepreneur-specific benefits to a social enterprise, including as A. Obtaining finance for social entrepreneurs is frequently easier than for other businesses. In this regard, the government offers a number of major incentives and programs. Because of the ethical character of the investing industry in this nation, it is easier to raise funds at rates that are below the market average. B. Marketing and advertising are also very straightforward for these businesses. Because a social problem is being addressed with a solution, it is easier to garner public and media attention for this initiative. The level of exposure received regularly changes depending on the uniqueness of the answer provided. Dr. Joe Johnson is an entrepreneur who has studied the field for over 25 years. He is the founder of Wellfont, which has funded and launched over a dozen startups. Dr. Johnson has outlined what he considers to be the four most common types of social entrepreneurs. 1. The community social entrepreneur. This entrepreneur seeks to serve the social needs of a community within a small geographical area. These entrepreneurial initiatives could be anything from creating job opportunities for marginalized members to building a community center. Social entrepreneurs on this scale are usually individuals or small organizations. Microfinance loans are one example, offering financial solutions to local people with no access to banking. These entrepreneurs work directly with members of the community. This means more vested interests and a slower decision process, but it comes with the advantage of long-term solutions. Both community members and local organizations are likely to sustainably carry on with the project even without the entrepreneur's direct involvement. 2. The nonprofit social entrepreneur. These entrepreneurs are focused on social, not material gain, meaning they prioritize social well-being over traditional business needs. They reinvest any profits into the business to facilitate the further expansion of services. 3. The transformational social entrepreneur. These people are focused on creating a business that can meet the social needs that governments and other businesses aren't currently meeting. The transformational category is often what nonprofits evolve to with sufficient time and growth. They become larger organizations with rules and regulations, sometimes growing to the point of working with or getting integrated into governmental bodies. 4. The global social entrepreneur. These entrepreneurs seek to completely change social systems to meet major social needs globally. It's often where big companies end up when they realize their social responsibility and begin concentrating on positive change as opposed to just profits. It's also where the largest charity organizations, such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, stand. The global need in question can be anything from free access to education to clean water. This is usually a lofty goal that spans continents and links many organizations and interests together. However, the trade-off is in scrutiny. If global social entrepreneurs fail to meet the needs and gather sufficient support, their failure has a bigger impact than those of smaller organizations. These organizations are usually tied to a particular cause and work with other social entrepreneurs to make it happen. As such, you are more likely to achieve these heights if you connect with other social entrepreneurs and build a global community around solving social issues for maintaining a good sense of self-confidence. This means taking pleasure in your strengths while also recognizing your shortcomings and areas of weakness. Self-confidence is a belief in your abilities that no matter what the obstacles may be, you will overcome them and eventually succeed. Street smart. Smarts consists of common sense joined with knowledge or experience in a related business or endeavor. The former gives a person good instinct, the latter, expertise. Many people have smarts they don't recognize. A person who successfully keeps a household on a budget has organizational and financial skills. Employment, education, and life experiences all contribute to smarts. A street smart person recognizes opportunities, visualizes solutions to day-to-day issues/problems. Such a person can utilize available resources to navigate through presenting issues. Through the three processes of adaptation, shaping, and selection, individuals create an ideal fit between themselves and their environment. This type of intelligence is often referred to as street smarts. Adaptation occurs when one makes a change within oneself to better adjust to one's surroundings. 33.1. Practical intelligence involves the ability to deal with daily tasks in the real world. You can call it street smarts that show how well a person relates to the external environment. It is also directed towards goals that seek to adapt to or transform the world around you. 33.2. Work intelligently. This entails practicing self-discipline to become smart before starting employment. Learn as much as you can about the business domain you want to target. Maintain a change-oriented, future-focused mindset, as well as an actionable execution strategy. It's frequently an excuse for not working intelligently when someone says they're working hard. Everything must be shown. Practice the discipline of thinking beyond verbal chatter if you're attempting to convince or earn a commitment. Preparation, rehearsal, execution, and selling one's product/service are the four phases of a good presentation. Include them in all interactions with partners, consumers, and group members. You'll have to interact with others. It's not your startup that people want to do business with, they want to do business with you. You will be more pleasant, kind, open, and effective if you have well-developed people skills. Put yourself in their position and see things from their perspective. Patience and listening actively before speaking is essential. Entrepreneurs with street smarts pursue this discipline until it stops working. Keep an eye on your finances. It's not uncommon for creative business owners to dislike or be intimidated by financial matters. If this is the case, look for a business partner that shares your passion for the analytical side of the firm. The ability to handle money well doesn't necessarily need one to be a financial whiz. It only needs a strict focus on the task at hand. Everyone is in the business of making a profit. Everyone in a startup, regardless of position, should be selling. When you first meet an investor or a consumer, you build an impression and a perception in their mind. Your world is shaped by your perspective, and you only get one chance to get it right. A street smart person is someone who is very perceptive and understands life and people regardless of his/her education. The education level may have little to do with being street smart. Entrepreneurial vision. Successful entrepreneurs start with an image, idea, or concept related to something that stirs passionate energy to start a new business. An entrepreneur's vision is the start of a roadmap that will determine if the path of starting one's business is feasible. The development of one's vision is based on education, experience, and inner confidence about the viability of selling one's product/service. The development of a vision statement is the picture one creates within one's mind and then makes it concrete. In contrast, the mission is a statement about individuals who could be helped by the enterprise, while the vision is a statement about why you matter as an organization and what the company will be in the future. Clarifying your entrepreneurial narrative may be achieved by refining these statements. Having a vision gives the firm a feeling of direction and purpose. As you move forward, your vision will help you establish your short and long-term goals and influence your actions. In order to succeed, a leader must have the vision and belief that anything is possible. We can't wait to see what he'll accomplish next. To keep your finances in order, you must have a set of values that will guide you through difficult times. A clear vision and mission will keep you on the right track to achieve your objectives. Their overall tone and direction will determine the general tone and direction of your internet enterprise. By having modest aspirations, one willingly confines his or her limitless creativity and potential to the confines of a jail cell. Follow your real passion if you want to develop and flourish, as well as generate tremendous value for others and yourself. When you generate value for others, your riches will follow. To clarify, his mission is a statement about who his mission may benefit, while his vision is a statement about why his mission is so important. Striking a better balance between these sentences will allow you to distill your entrepreneurial narrative. Why does corporate vision matter? 1. It draws people together. Everybody feels a part of something greater when an organization's objective or vision statement is apparent. A deeper meaning is gained from this, as well as everyone being a cohesive team that is organized and focused on the project's purpose. 2. It's enlightening. Being able to clearly see where you want to go is liberating. In addition, it encourages everyone to do their best. The consequence is increased devotion and change. While this is especially crucial during difficult times, it may also help you stay motivated by reminding you of why you started. 3. Goal setting and business planning assistance. When a firm has a vision, it has a feeling of purpose and purposefulness. You will be guided by your vision and set short and long-term goals as you go. First, you must have a vision that is important to you and express it to others so they will want to join you. Many great entrepreneurs start with a clear vision of what they want, and then take little steps to get there one at a time, to achieve their goals. A company's future has always been a concern for CEOs. When they are initially presented to the public, great business CEOs are typically characterized in terms of their strategic aptitude or vision. The vision is the foundation upon which one's actions and work ethic are going to build entrepreneurial success. Take time to develop your vision and see the end product in your mind clearly. Patience and careful study are necessary for successful vision development. Entrepreneurial mindset. Having an entrepreneurial mindset, an awareness and focus on identifying an opportunity through solving a problem, and a willingness to move forward to advance that idea is critical to the development of any business. The entrepreneurial mindset is the lens through which the entrepreneur views the world, where everything is considered in light of the entrepreneurial business. The business is always a consideration when the entrepreneur makes a decision. In most cases, the action that the entrepreneur takes is for the benefit of the business, but sometimes, it helps the entrepreneur get ready to adopt the appropriate mindset. The mindset becomes a way of life for the entrepreneur. To be entrepreneurial, you must have the right belief system as well as the information and cognitive processes to succeed. Most entrepreneurs have a humanistic view, are outward-looking, and recognize that value is created by solving issues for other people. What is the entrepreneurial mindset? 1. Determination keeps enterprises alive by refusing to give up. When faced with a setback, entrepreneurs search for solutions rather than focusing on the negative. 2. Entrepreneurs don't let distractions deter them from achieving their objectives. Many entrepreneurs will need to develop these abilities, which include juggling their employment, if they are still employed, family duties, and general business operations. 3. Entrepreneurs are so driven to make their ideas a reality that they develop daily routines to help them remain on track. 4. When you're in control of an entrepreneurial enterprise, everything depends on you. The capacity of an entrepreneur to make quick and rational decisions may aid him in avoiding unproductive ideas and practices. 5. Self-sufficiency. Entrepreneurs aren't scared to solve problems on their own. People who have worked in a company for a long time may opt to go it alone owing to a desire for autonomy. 6. Authenticity. Entrepreneurs are not imposters, they are genuine. Individuals' excitement for what they wish to accomplish, even if they don't always believe in their ideas, cannot be questioned. 7. Flexibility. A 9-to-5 job may not be an appealing option for entrepreneurs. They cannot be stopped from working at any time of day or night since they are always thinking about their ideas. 8. Insatiable curiosity. Entrepreneurs are naturally curious, which is why they obtain bachelor's degrees. They are conscious, however, that further study is required to bring these ideas to completion before they can be adopted. 9. You must be able to think outside the box and improvise when necessary, to thrive in business. Furthermore, they have the ability to assess a situation and envision how it may be better. Nobody is born with an entrepreneurial mindset. It is an acquired skill. An entrepreneurial mindset is like achieving salvation. It is the right amount of risk-taking, following your dreams, etc. People who have achieved an entrepreneurial mindset have figured out the optimal mix of how much risk they can tolerate, how much time and attention they need to give to the various facets of their life. An entrepreneurial mindset is not merely thinking about your business all the time. It is about figuring out the right balance. Just like sleep is important, family, and personal goals, etc. are all boosters. Passion has been to be tempered by the founder's vision and mission. Passion for the sake of passion is not enough. Opportunity recognition. Opportunity recognition is a process wherein individuals and organizations actively seek out, as well as perceive, opportunities for new products and services. It could be likened to a constant state of brainstorming, where businesses are always on the lookout for ways to innovate or improve. There appear to be three distinct processes involved in opportunity recognition: 1. Sensing or perceiving market needs and/or underemployed resources. 2. Recognizing or discovering a fit between specific market needs and resources. And 3. Creating a new fit between separate market needs and resources. Individuals and businesses are encouraged to think about new products and services that are needed in the marketplace when they recognize an opportunity. Opportunity recognition influences innovation by encouraging individuals and businesses to think about new products and services that are needed in the marketplace. The method allows for continual process improvement, which means searching for ways to improve on existing products and services while simultaneously making them better. Recognizing opportunities is a cognitive process that occurs in the brain. It is based on the ability of individuals to identify patterns and make connections between them. By drawing on their past knowledge and experience, people may establish connections between disparate pieces of information. They are able to connect them to issues or needs that they or others in their immediate vicinity may be experiencing. In order to identify an opportunity, there are 3 steps. Observing trends. Solving a problem. Gaps in the marketplace are identified and filled. A business opportunity is a catalyst for the creation of a new business venture, and it is comprised of a set of market conditions that make it possible to transform a company idea into a successful business endeavor. The assessment and validation of a business concept may be accomplished via the use of a variety of tools and methodologies, which are discussed below. Finding good business chances is pointless if you are unable to recognize them when you come across them. Recognizing good chances requires ability, whether you are seeking something to sink your teeth into or you have already achieved success and want to replicate it. In order to analyze prospects and discover wealth-creating resources that may be managed and exploited by the entrepreneur, opportunity evaluation is carried out. Opportunity identification may be accomplished through 4 different methods: awareness, previous knowledge, pattern recognition, and a combination of these methods. Gaining public attention, earning wealth through the sale of unusual, original, or attractive items or services that have not previously been exploited. There are 3 key things to consider in this regard. 1. The active search for opportunities. 2. The awareness to recognize opportunities. And 3. Prior knowledge of and expertise in an industry. This pattern recognition is carried out based on either exemplar models or prototypes, or a combination of these 2 methods. There is a significant distinction between an idea and an opportunity in the business world, even though the terms are frequently used interchangeably. The best business opportunities are those which match the individual's passion. A driven founder has an intrinsic drive to see his or her company through to a successful future in the marketplace. Discipline. Discipline, starting and operating a business is no easy feat. Unlike a traditional job where you often have upper-level management driving business objectives and keeping you accountable, being an entrepreneur requires the ability to hold yourself accountable when you don't have a boss to do so. Those who are able to create and execute plans even without external factors holding them accountable have a competitive edge in business. When an entrepreneur has self-discipline, they are able to manage the urge to procrastinate and can take decisive action when needed. It is important to recognize that focus and discipline are critical for any startup's success. It is disciplined implementation that makes people profitable entrepreneurs. Disciplined persons who work from a system have a better chance of becoming successful in life. They tend to take extensive notes, write lists, keep calendars, put reminders on their phones, and have a daily schedule of activities around which they arrange their efforts to ensure that they don't forget anything. The more ordered and disciplined a person is, the less chaotic their everyday occurrences appear to be in their perception. Each individual has developed a method of arranging oneself that is effective for them. No matter how they do it, disciplined individuals put their planned system into action each and every day, allowing them to make the most of their time and opportunities to the maximum extent possible. One of the most essential aspects of being disciplined is to avoid being inflexible and instead to be inventive. A disciplined person is not hesitant to seek direction when it is needed or to step outside their comfort zone in order to develop new patterns of behavior that will benefit them in the future. If they do not have what they require, disciplined people are tenacious in their efforts to find a way to obtain what they lack. Because they are resourceful, these individuals will not accept a negative response because they will find a solution for their situation in some fashion or another. Discipline is a trait shared by the most successful persons in life. Discipline is made up of the fundamental skills that we use to deal with the issues and challenges that life throws at us. Disciplined people believe that when they are confronted with high levels of irritation, they will grow the most. The difficulties they face differentiate them from failure and help to define them as successful rather than unsuccessful. The problem-solving abilities of disciplined individuals are called to the fore when they are challenged or frustrated, and they maintain their openness and commitment. Disciplined individuals face a variety of challenges during uncertain times, and the strength of their character is ultimately determined by how they respond. Disciplined individuals recognize that in order to succeed in life or business, they must first and foremost be healthy. As a result, people don't simply concentrate on being disciplined at their workplace. They commit to eating healthily, engaging in an active exercise regimen, and getting adequate sleep. A deliberate decision to only think in terms of success by disciplined individuals. They maintain an optimistic outlook. Given that success does not always come easy, their failures are viewed as opportunities for advancement that will lead them to a more successful path in the future. Disciplined people understand that the way they think may either damage or evolve them. Self-awareness. Self-awareness. Entrepreneurs who have a sense of self-awareness that they are able to apply professionally to achieve business success. When an entrepreneur is self-aware, they are able to own up to their strengths and weaknesses related to running their business. With this awareness, they can zero in on the tasks and elements of running the business they can excel in and are more willing to delegate the areas they are not as strong in. Another benefit of being self-aware is that it increases one's ability to give, receive, and apply meaningful feedback. Being self-aware and knowing how to correctly evaluate people enables entrepreneurs to find employees who are a good match for the company's requirements. It is important to be self-aware since that will enable you to construct a credible personal brand. Improved decision-making is aided by better self-awareness. Also, leaders could increase the trust of their team members by understanding and accepting their strengths and weaknesses as well as those of their team members and by identifying and acknowledging their own biases. Leaders need to be able to recognize themselves and their potential as leaders so that they may improve professionally and have a positive effect on the business. When we are aware of our own identity, we may view ourselves as people who are different and diverse. While simultaneously recognizing areas where we may develop, we may recognize and alter our strengths and weaknesses. It takes self-awareness to comprehend our feelings instead of brushing them off. Once you are conscious of your feelings, thoughts, and behaviors, you may work to improve yourself and be of service to others. When you understand the effects of your words and deeds on others, and when you have compassion for those effects, you are said to have self-awareness. Whether you want to be self-aware or not, your words and actions influence others. This sort of awareness is referred to as social awareness. To have emotional intelligence, you need to be self-aware. Managers and team members who have a high level of emotional intelligence find it convenient to have a high EQ. An understanding of one's personality, strengths, and, most crucially, weaknesses is required for self-awareness. Having a high level of self-awareness helps a leader identify and use his or her particular talents. Not only do leaders who have self-consciousness have greater communication effectiveness, but they are also better equipped to detect their influence on others. If you aren't self-aware, you will not be able to pick up on your clues as to how your thoughts and feelings express themselves in your daily actions. While you are trying to be mindful of the patterns in your thoughts and behavior, you will never succeed. Stressed persons are more prone to this, since they have little understanding of how to modify their decisions to better fit their aims. It is vital to have a strong sense of self in the current context. Without knowing oneself properly, you are unable to make an educated decision. In the end, leaders must be self-aware to succeed. Without knowing where to begin, no one can become an effective leader. Genuine awareness comes from seeing oneself, as is, rather than with biases and distortions. One's ego can get in the way of seeing oneself clearly. That is why having good mentorship is critical. Awareness of one's emotions and behaviors is a form of self-recognition. When you fully understand this concept, you will have the freedom and capacity to modify aspects of your life to realize your ambitions. Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness. Many entrepreneurs are faced with tasks and challenges they have never faced before. The ability to be resourceful is a mindset that helps entrepreneurs reach lofty goals without a clear way to achieve them. When entrepreneurs can work resourcefully, they can effectively problem solve and grow and scale their businesses without having all of the answers or resources to do so. Being resourceful requires a can-do attitude and willingness to work creatively to effectively manage a business without having the immediate know-how. A desire to work more and learn more than anybody else is essential. While having access to money and resources is advantageous, one of the most critical components of being an entrepreneur is self-sufficiency. There are no shortcuts. You must work diligently and strive to position yourself in such a way that, if fortune favors you, you can identify and capitalize on the opportunity. In the business world, resourcefulness is described as the ability to discover and utilize available resources to resolve problems and accomplish objectives. It is a mindset that views difficulties as possibilities rather than as problems to be resolved. A resourceful person does not allow external circumstances to define when or how they act, otherwise, they would always settle for less. A resourceful mentality fosters innovative thinking, the generation of new ideas, and the capacity to see all possible paths to success. Resourcefulness is about identifying quick and innovative answers to issues, working out how to overcome seemingly insurmountable hurdles, and therefore seeing opportunities that others miss. In essence, resourcefulness is the most critical quality. Being resourceful entails devising strategies for achieving our objectives while simultaneously increasing the bar. Individuals that exhibit this feature have an innovative, adventurous mindset and set out to attain their goals while considering other ways to succeed. Adopting an optimistic perspective greatly increases workplace resourcefulness. Positivity maintains an open mind to new ideas and motivates even the most seasoned leaders to continue learning. Resourcefulness is the capacity to perform tasks despite obstacles and constraints. This is confronting the task at hand and optimizing what you have, whether you're developing something new or simply thinking about how to do something better. Resourceful leaders are innovative and persistent. Ingenious folks ask the appropriate questions, create the appropriate illustrations, and speak the appropriate words. This means they never regret not asking someone a question or not being more watchful. Being innovative is less about generating anything than it is about being intelligent. You become eternally resourceful by improving the appearance of items and repurposing old ones. Innovative ideas come and go quickly. If one does not work, try another. One of those recommendations may point you in the direction of the solution you're looking for. Integrity, perhaps the most critical quality of resourceful persons is their integrity. You will never meet someone capable of telling an excellent falsehood about a task or a commitment. They are commended for keeping their promises rather than overpromising on what they cannot keep. It is okay to respond no or I'm not sure, because lying will eventually consume more time than researching and observing others. A savvy person would always tailor possibilities to his or her specific needs. Resourcefulness leads to new approaches in developing one's business and leads to better networking. Process-oriented mindset. Process-oriented mindset, having solid processes in place is essential for any successful entrepreneur. In the world of business, a process is a repeatable series of steps that help those working within a business to complete necessary tasks. Processes can apply to various aspects of the business including sales, onboarding new team members, production, and product fulfillment. When business owners have a process-oriented mindset, they can work smarter, not harder. Implementing processes in various areas of the business can prevent waste, allowing business owners to scale and grow their businesses. Self-disciplined individuals settle well into established systems and structures. Process orientation focuses energetically on the journey as well as the destination. Such entrepreneurs are aware of business standards and are adept at keeping things running smoothly. A desire to work more and learn more than anybody else is essential. While having access to money and resources is advantageous, one of the most critical components of being an entrepreneur is self-sufficiency. There are no shortcuts. You must work diligently and strive to position yourself in such a way that, if fortune favors you, you can identify and capitalize on the opportunity. In the business world, a process-oriented individual who has the ability to discover and utilize available resources in order to resolve problems and accomplish objectives. It is a mindset that views difficulties as possibilities rather than as problems to be resolved. A process-oriented individual is resourceful and does not allow external circumstances to define when or how they act, otherwise, they would always settle for less. A resourceful mentality fosters innovative thinking, the generation of new ideas, and the capacity to see all possible paths to success. Resourcefulness is about identifying quick and innovative answers to issues, working out how to overcome seemingly insurmountable hurdles, and therefore seeing opportunities that others miss. In essence, resourcefulness is the most critical quality. Being process-oriented entails devising strategies for achieving objectives while simultaneously increasing the bar. Individuals that exhibit this quality have an innovative, adventurous mindset and set out to attain their goals while considering other ways to succeed. Adopting an optimistic perspective, as part of a process-oriented mindset, greatly increases workplace resourcefulness. Positivity maintains an open mind to new ideas and motivates even the most seasoned leaders to continue learning. Resourcefulness is the capacity to perform tasks despite obstacles and constraints. This is confronting the task at hand and optimizing what you have, whether you're developing something new or simply thinking about how to do something better. Resourceful leaders are innovative and persistent. Ingenious folks ask the appropriate questions, create the appropriate illustrations, and speak the appropriate words. This means they never regret not asking someone a question or not being more watchful. Being innovative is less about generating anything than it is about being intelligent. Perhaps the most critical quality of resourceful persons is their integrity. Process-oriented individuals are commended for keeping their promises rather than overpromising on what they cannot keep. A process-oriented mindset is a foundation for long-term success in any entrepreneurial endeavor. Empathy. Empathy is an essential trait for entrepreneurs. Whether a business owner manages a large team of employees or works directly with their customers as a high-performing solopreneur, they must be able to connect with others on a genuine level. Successful entrepreneurs can put themselves in others' shoes, considering the perspectives of their employees and customers as they navigate key business decisions. In business, empathy can look like anticipating your customers' needs, empowering your team members to take time off to recharge when they need it, and giving both employees and customers space to voice their opinions and concerns. Empathy is the bedrock of connection, and connection is a necessary component of entrepreneurship. Empathy may benefit business executives in a variety of scenarios, whether they're on the hunt for the next big idea, having difficulty identifying a target market, or just seeking new revenue streams. Empathy is fostered in the workplace through leaders by developing an emotional response. I am aware. Getting rid of the corner office. Sympathize with compassion and tolerance. Establishing connection objectives for leadership. Continuing to listen. Assuming an optimistic attitude. Taking personal responsibility. Individualizing your appreciation. Investing in human resources staff. Consideration of another person's point of view is a cognitive component of empathy, and it is composed of both cognitive and affective components that explain the psychological states associated with comprehending another. To better comprehend the psychological mechanism through which entrepreneurs see opportunities, we have included an emotional component, known as empathy or empathic care, in the analytical framework. Empathic care is defined as the ability to recognize and understand another person's true feelings, emotions, and concerns, i.e., the emotional response to another person's troubles. The expression of empathetic care results in the emotion of compassion, which is defined as the drive or desire to assist others. Some entrepreneurs may be less altruistic than other sorts of individuals, and their drive to assist others may be weaker than that of other types of individuals. Empathic concern, in addition to perspective taking, will help overcome these shortcomings by encouraging employees' feelings of compassion or a desire to assist customers, which will, in turn, contribute to the development of ideas that are more aligned with the market, more feasible, and more appealing to customers. Each person has emotions. To connect with the emotions of those who are working in one's business is a form of mental empathy. This requires good observation as information is carefully collected from one's team. Cognitive empathy is the ability to see any situation in the business from another's perspective. Exercises of perspective taking are extremely useful in truly connecting with each person on the team while keeping one's business goals in mind. The ability to envision outside one's frame of reference and experience can develop by carefully listening, observing, and talking with one's team. Such communication should occur without bias and with sensitivity. A true empathic bond between employer and employee can result in further solidification of one's team. True empathy in the business environment is for the owner to place himself/herself in the role of the employee. Doing so allows for an empathic connection to take place. Self-motivation. Self-motivation, simply put, when you're your boss, you have to be able to keep yourself motivated to work effectively and consistently. Entrepreneurs must be able to work through creative ruts and points of feeling uninspired to keep their businesses going. This starts with knowing what drives you to keep going and drawing upon necessary inspiration when motivation is low. An average individual may be transformed into a great businessman who can produce opportunities and contribute to the maximum of wealth and economic advancement through enterprise motivation. A higher level desire for recognition, esteem, and self-actualization drives entrepreneurial activity, and these desires are satisfied through self-employment. All of us have fantasized about starting a business at some point in our lives. Even while this has many benefits, it's simple to romanticize the notion. Entrepreneurship may seem like an obvious goal, but there are numerous reasons why someone might want to pursue it. As a business owner, you must know and understand the motivations of your staff. Consider them as motivators if you haven't already. When you're feeling unmotivated, take a look at what you've already done. Take a moment to congratulate yourself and revel in the light of success. You may find that a brief break is all it takes to get you motivated to attain more achievement. The courage to move forward, despite successes and failures, is motivation. Achieving difficult goals. Competitive spirit. Entrepreneurs like undertaking and achieving difficult goals. Since establishing a company is one of the most challenging things a person can accomplish, they would be required to do so. In business, you are always at battle with your rivals to acquire more customers and a larger market share. It is also a personal challenge to utilize all of this information to concentrate on yourself and create a firm from nothing into a money-making powerhouse that can be sold or acquired for a profit. Any business, whether a corporation or a research laboratory, can only foster a competitive spirit if management is delegated authority and workers feel their skills and efforts are acknowledged and encouraged. Create such a setting, and success will follow. In today's competitive environment, it is crucial that managers acknowledge the subjectivity of their workers and endeavor to grasp each person's unique viewpoint, orientation, and psychology. If you are a lab manager that depends on your team to execute tasks, you must first understand what motivates and inspires each team member. Many psychologists believe that in every person there is a strong desire to realize his or her full potential and, according to Maslow, 1971, the only way to realize that full potential is through self-actualization, which can be achieved in the following 8 ways. 1. Concentration. Feel everything to the fullest extent possible, see everything in great detail, and thoroughly absorb what we are doing. 2. Different options for growth. If we consider life to be a sequence of decisions, then self-actualization may be seen as the process of choosing to develop rather than to protect oneself. 3. Self-awareness. Self-actualization is the process through which we become more conscious of our inner nature and behave in a manner that is congruent with that nature. 4. Honesty. It is very necessary for self-actualization that we accept full and sincere responsibility for our activities. It is not possible for us to say one thing while doing another. 5. Judgment. We have to figure out how to put our faith in our own discretion and acknowledge the significance of our emotions. 6. Self-development. The development of our physical, emotional, and mental potential is an ongoing process that is necessary for self-actualization. 7. Peak experiences. These fleeting moments of self-actualization are instances in which we feel more whole, integrated, and like our authentic selves. 8. An absence of ego defense mechanisms. The realization of our ego's defenses and the deliberate abandonment of those barriers is the ultimate stage of self-actualization. It is not through magic that a dream may become a reality, rather, it is through perspiration, dedication, and labor. Luck is something I put a lot of stock in, and the more effort I put in, the more of it I seem to attract. Putting forth your best effort in this very second will put you in the best position for the very second that follows. Hard effort overcomes talent if talent doesn't work hard. Self-discipline is something that may be developed through time via the application of effort and labor. Even when we are aware that putting off even the simplest of our responsibilities might put us in a position to fail, we nevertheless find ways to sabotage ourselves. There are times when we aren't even sure why we continue to do it. But when you set your sights on accomplishing a difficult task, self-discipline will naturally follow. The process of achieving one's set goals needs to be flexible. Flexibility aiming towards sustainability requires patience, study, and a willingness to keep learning. Resilience. Resilience. Successful entrepreneurs must have a sense of resiliency. While running a business, it is common for entrepreneurs to face closed doors and to be told no often from potential customers and those they are seeking funding from. Many entrepreneurs may find themselves starting multiple businesses if their initial idea doesn't take off. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nearly half of small businesses fail within the first 4 years. Some successful business owners may find their first few business ideas weren't sustainable in the long run but can apply those learnings to new businesses. Whether an entrepreneur isn't granted a sale or opportunity or has to start at square one, being resilient and inventive in the face of challenges is a must. Entrepreneurs, more than any other group, require the ability to bounce back from bad circumstances. If there is one group that requires this skill, it is those who start their businesses. Every lost customer seems like a tragedy if you don't have resilience. The ability to get back up and pivot is something that some entrepreneurs are better at than others. Entrepreneurs, more than any other group, require the ability to bounce back from bad circumstances. If there is one group that requires this skill, it is those who start their businesses. Every lost customer seems like a tragedy if one does not have resilience. Failure appears to be a threshold beyond which there is no way back, even though it is a common, albeit painful, the result of establishing a business, in some cases. Resilience is not a binary concept. The ability to get back up and pivot is something that some entrepreneurs are better at than others. Entrepreneurs that are resilient work hard to achieve their objectives and rapidly adjust to changes to take advantage of new possibilities and learn from their errors in the process. Resilient entrepreneurs are better able to manage company loss and re-enter the entrepreneurial world, according to research. While being resilient is important, perseverance in attaining your objectives is even more important when your financial means are restricted and your window of opportunity is short. Entrepreneurs that are resilient retain their composure and stay calm in the face of unexpected difficulties. It is critical for entrepreneurs to have a strong network. A leap of faith on your side is required when taking an idea and presenting it to the world as a one-of-a-kind and essential solution to solve a problem or improve the quality of life. We all need to have such a large amount of confidence to be successful. Entrepreneurs who have achieved success, on the other hand, have mastered the art of creation. While a strategy is being developed, you must be willing to make many little, and at times significant, adjustments along the way. The ability to recognize one's flaws, as well as recognize areas where one's long-term goals and design concepts may be improved, is a skill in and of itself. Adversity has the potential to help you develop. For individuals to attain success, they must first go through a period of hardship. An entrepreneur who can bounce back from misfortune may be able to turn hardship into an opportunity. According to many businesses who have come out of bad circumstances stronger, one definition of resilience is recognizing that although you can't go back to the way things were before the crisis, you can become stronger and wiser as a result of the experience. Resilience is a combination of high self-esteem and powerful techniques that help one's business succeed. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is one's capability of performing in a certain manner and how to be successful when difficulties are faced. The perception of self-efficacy affects one's behaviors at least in three ways. A. One's choice of activities, which will be performed. B. One's performance quality. C. One's persistence in difficult tasks. It also increases the strength to overcome failures. The ones who do not have the belief in self-efficacy tend to emphasize their inefficacy and believe that potential obstacles cannot be overcome. One's performance quality and persistence for difficult tasks can be affected by self-efficacy beliefs. 4 sources affect one's beliefs about their self-efficacy: enactive mastery experiences, vicarious experiences, verbal persuasion, and physiological and emotional situation. As a process of discovery and co-creation, entrepreneurship is usually described as possibilities for the production of products and services that are identified, evaluated, and exploited. Entrepreneurial self-efficacy, which refers to an individual's confidence in his or her capacity to execute activities and responsibilities targeted at attaining entrepreneurial results, is important when choosing whether or not to pursue entrepreneurial professions and participate in entrepreneurial activity. Individuals' self-efficacy is favorably linked to exposure to entrepreneurial role models in the general population and family business settings, and an entrepreneur's strong connections with friends and family are positively related to their entrepreneurial self-efficacy. Being aware of temptations to take unnecessary risks is part of enhanced self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is intelligent decision-making, while decisions made by the force of temptations can be severely damaging to one's business and many other areas of one's life. High levels of self-efficacy entail the following qualities: ability to deal effectively and logically, with emotional balance, with market changes. Utilizing the best marketing approaches in the overall context of one's business. Implementing best business strategies in relation to the management of one's business. Minimizing risk-taking and maximizing rational choices. Utilizing one's mental power for creative innovation. Keep tight financial controls. Build an innovative environment. Explore investor relationships. Keep one's core purpose in mind. Cope with unexpected challenges. Continue to develop human resources. Not only are performance and performance achievements the result of self-efficacy, but they are also the predictors of self-efficacy. The most important factor in developing and evaluating self-efficacy is determined to be performance achievements. Individuals monitor and evaluate their performance to develop and maintain a feeling of self-efficacy. Thus, performance and self-efficacy are mutually reinforcing. Self-efficacy influences performance through interest, motivation, and persistence, while performance gives feedback on which self-efficacy is assessed and changed further. The choice to start and run one's own company is referred to as an entrepreneurial decision. It's a complicated procedure that's influenced by a variety of variables. Relative and individual variables determining many factors. These factors include environmental variables like job relocation and previous work experience. They also include characteristics like a desire for success, inner locus of control, level of confidence, and the ability to handle risky temptations. Self-efficacy begins with identifying one's abilities and mindfully synchronize them. Taking daily steps through such synchronicity is self-efficacy. Locus of control. entrepreneurs tend to have a strong internal locus of control. Locus of control is a concept defining whether a person believes he or she is in control of his/her future or someone else is in control of it. For example, we all know people who believe they have no control over their lives. They believe that what happens to them is dictated by outside forces. People who feel they are victims of outside forces have an external locus of control. It's not my fault this happened to me. By contrast, entrepreneurs have a very strong internal locus of control. They believe their future is determined by the choices they make. In terms of a small rural business, an entrepreneur is someone who identifies a market opportunity for agricultural commodities and products and creates a business organization to pursue the opportunity. To help you understand entrepreneurs, here are 4 characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. According to the locus of control theory, a person's perspective of the events in his/her life is based on the underlying reasons. Is your future in your own hands, or is it dictated by external factors, such as fate, God, or other strong people? Business possibilities can be identified more easily by successful entrepreneurs. Rather than focusing on the negative, they strive to learn from their mistakes. Entrepreneurs that are successful are action-oriented. A sense of urgency motivates me to act in this way. As a result, they have a strong desire to succeed, which drives them to put their ideas into practice. Successful entrepreneurs have a thorough understanding of the main success elements and the physical endurance necessary for putting all into their business. In addition to their talents, expertise, and abilities, successful entrepreneurs rely on outside support. They can recruit important investors, partners, creditors, and workers due to their passion. Internal locus of control describes an individual that believes that they are their own master and can act to change their living conditions. Conversely, entrepreneurs with an internal locus of control believe that success is determined by his or her efforts and abilities. An individual with an internal locus of control feels that they are in charge of their destiny and can take action to improve their circumstances. On the other hand, entrepreneurs with an internal locus of control think that their efforts and talents will determine whether or not they will succeed. To manage, guide, and safeguard an organization in a commercial setting are called organizational control processes and procedures. It's one of the 4 primary management tasks, along with planning, organizing, and leading. Your cash flow may be controlled as an excellent place to start, as well. Entrepreneurial people have a strong accomplishment drive, moderate risk-taking, a greater willingness and capacity to innovate, and an internal center of control, rather than an external one. Observing and taking advantage of new ways of doing business is what is meant by innovativeness. A person with a locus of control believes that they have power or control over the circumstances of their lives. Business owners benefit from a locus of control since it is a powerful stress reduction strategy. As a result, the decision-making process might be negatively impacted by stress. Entrepreneurs have a strong desire to succeed, moderate risk-taking, a stronger willingness and capacity to innovate, need a strong locus of control. I am not my circumstances. I am the person I chose to be. Circumstances are just a means for me to make better choices. Uncertainty tolerance. Ambiguous information is everywhere and it can lead to the conclusion that there is no way out, no way to understand, or no viable way to proceed. The decision-making process can become paralyzed by the ambiguity that prevents conclusive prescriptions. When there exist high levels of uncertainty about a particular entrepreneurial venture, those individuals that exhibit higher levels of tolerance of ambiguity are more likely to succeed. The ability to tolerate conflicting information and deal with missing information makes the difference. Individuals' ability to tolerate the demands of contradictory information and imprecise information becomes increasingly crucial the more uncertain a specific economic prospect becomes. On the one hand, we could anticipate ventures in established company types, restaurants, for example, to receive more consistent market information, whereas ventures in emerging sectors, technology firms, for example, might receive more confusing market information. When entrepreneurs implement strategies to start new firms, they do so with little knowledge about the likelihood that their efforts would be successful. They are suffering uncertainty rather than risking their lives. Implementing new strategies, developing new goods, and expanding into new markets are all accompanied by a degree of uncertainty. The beneficial outcomes of buying out a rival may have indeterminate chances of occurring. Profit may be made by accepting business uncertainty, and the more uncertainty that is accepted, the greater the profit that can be made. The link between uncertainty and gain may be linear or even exponential in nature, with larger payoffs occurring when the level of uncertainty in the market is higher. Entrepreneurs, according to the uncertainty-bearing hypothesis, are considered to be carriers of uncertainty. Entrepreneurship theory lays a strong focus on the capacity of the entrepreneur to make decisions in the face of uncertainty. We owe our futures to dreamers and entrepreneurs, those rare individuals who forego the security of a salary, mortgage all they own, and follow a goal that ends up producing our futures. That is what the brilliant economist Joseph Schumpeter called it, the recurring hurricane of devastation. As a result, business is characterized by disequilibrium and instability as opposed to order and fairness. Entrepreneurs have to deal with a high level of risk and uncertainty on a daily basis. They have no other alternative. It's up to them to shape the future. It is up to them whether they succeed or fail. As a result, entrepreneurs must learn how to deal with the danger and uncertainty of being responsible for their firm and their employees' livelihood. Opportunities might arise in uncertain settings, and subsequently committing resources to pursue them may need risk-based judgments. This is especially true when external investors are involved, who want risk estimations before investing in a venture or project. Thus, one's judgment needs to connect unclear and risky situations to exploratory and exploitative contexts. Uncertainty exists in the following ways: A. Probability of outcomes of future events. B. Probability of future events, conditional to the realization of other events. C. How to incorporate the information in determining the probability of a future event. What there seems to be a great deal of uncertainty, that is an opportunity to consider many new possibilities. Risk-taking. A risk-taker is someone who risks everything in the hope of achievement or accepts greater potential for loss in decisions and tolerates uncertainty. In contrast, some managers are risk-averse, and they choose options that entail fewer risks and prefer familiarity and certainty. Risk-taking is defined as any deliberately or unconsciously regulated action with a perceived uncertainty about the result, as well as the potential advantages or costs to one's or others' physical, economic, or psychosocial well-being. Taking risks allows and promotes innovation, which may be a key difference for a product or service. Risks that fail aren't necessarily bad. They may sometimes teach an entrepreneur the most important business lessons. Failure aids in the development of future company ideas and may ultimately lead to expansion. Taking a risk to accomplish a goal requires the bravery to entrepreneurs. Acting decisively means choosing a plan of action and then executing it. An approach like this is likely to help get and keep a company endeavor going. Optimism encourages creative thinking and fresh ideas. Optimistic people are more creative. The ambiguity of the future allowed optimists to escape negative restrictions and visualize good outcomes. This type of future planning is beneficial to entrepreneurs. The research demonstrates that those who are future-oriented, like optimists, and who vividly imagine good futures, how will the world be 10 years from now? This prompts imaginative speculation about what such a world would contain and how we might get there. This type of thinking increases the chances of new products, services, or company ideas succeeding. There is a very significant difference between overconfidence and optimism. An overconfident entrepreneur is driven by a result-centric approach that leads to quick and risky decisions. An optimistic entrepreneur maintains a process-oriented approach while limiting risk and emotional distress. Cognitive biases can contaminate entrepreneurial decision-making. Awareness of one's biases leads to reduced overconfidence and optimal decision-making. Ambition, morale, resolve, and persistence are needed to be balanced with an optimistic approach. Patience is essential for all these qualities to find the best balance with each other. Starting your own business takes a lot of motivation, hard work, perseverance, and action. But how can you do all of that if you don't feel you can succeed in your endeavors? About the author. Mr. Ricky Singh was born in New Delhi, India on July 28, 1969, as the oldest of 3 children, i.e., 2 sisters and Ricky. Immigrated to the United States in 1988, Ricky purchased his first business in 1992 and has not looked back since that time. He has diverse business experiences and expertise, running convenience stores, gas stations, 7-Elevens, tobacco stores, technology startups, restaurants, delis, and other food establishments. Accomplishments include the following. A. Successful serial entrepreneur. B. Owner of all Speedy gas stations in Delaware. C. Completed 52 marathons in 50 states. D. Ultra-endurance athlete, running multiple distances, ranging from 5K to 135 miles. E. Climbed multiple peaks including Mount Manaslu, 8th highest point, and Mount Everest. F. 3rd Indian American and 1st American Sikh to summit Mount Everest. G. Passionate philanthropist, interested in human upliftment. H. A motivational speaker in diverse settings. Mr. Singh is a loving father with 2 children, is dedicated to married life with his wife, and believes firmly in taking care of his parents. His mother lives with him in their home in Wilmington, Delaware.